Hey everyone out there in the laser engraving world. I have an Atomstack S20 that, like a lot of people probably know, as a lot of these laser engravers, the cable management is not very good. So I set out to try to figure out a way to remedy this problem. I've actually had this to where this cable has caught my work and shifted the project, and when I came back to take a look at it, it was all messed up. So that's what really drove me to figure out a way to solve this problem. Not to mention, you got your air hose, right here. You got these wires, you got the wires running down the side here. So what I did is I modeled up some parts here, along with purchasing a couple drag chains that I hope is going to fix this issue. Now, this is an Atomstack S20, but a lot of the Atomstacks have this similar design. So this may work on some of the other Atomstacks. There's some Atomstacks that look different, but if yours looks, if it's got this style bracket right here, then this will probably work for you. And I'm going to make this free on Thingiverse. I'm going to upload all the files. I'll put a link to everything that I've used in the description of this video, along with the drag chain, a link to the Thingiverse files so you can download and 3D print these parts, along with the wire that I had to buy, because we're going to have to lengthen the wire. I tried everything I could do to get around having to lengthen the wire, but there's just not enough wire to do this without lengthening it. So yeah, let me show you how this works. So the first part is a snap-on piece right here. Snaps right on, nice and solid. And this is where the first part of the drag chain is going to clip into. And you may be asking yourself why I didn't just screw it right down to the tabletop. Well, if you're using a rotary, you have to lift your laser burner up. And I wanted to be able to lift this laser engraver up and put my extensions on the legs without having to worry about the drag chain being affixed to the tabletop itself. So this way, the drag chain is all secured to the burner. If you lift the burner up, it lifts the whole drag chain up. So let's go ahead, and this is the next piece right here. And now, another thing I want to mention is, let me get that pushed down on there. This is enough of a friction fit. I actually modeled it up so that the holes, I was thinking that, I put screws in it and screw this together. But it's enough of a friction fit to where it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it's on there solid. So I'm not going to worry about the holes. If you feel that you need to, put screws in, that's perfectly fine. Now, of course, there's no holes in this. It just clips on. And again, this is enough of a friction fit to where it's not going anywhere. And then the last piece is this piece right here. And it goes up on this mount. And it just slides down. Again, it's got holes in it to where if you feel you need to put screws in, you can. Now, I bought 2 drag chains, and you're going to have to get 2. And I've still got a lot left over. I've lengthened these to the length that, let's put the longer one on first, that I feel work pretty good for my setup. If yours is 1 or 2 lengths longer or shorter, probably still work just fine. The one thing that you need to know on these is, if you look at this end, it's a little narrower than this end. Let me get this other one and put them side by side so you can see. And the reason that's significant, you can see there's more space here than there is on this side. This one here clips onto the outside of this clip. This one here clips onto the inside of this clip. So let's see, the longer one goes on the long leg here. Because the way I designed this is the way these clips are made. Hopefully you can see the little indentation, or the little recess, not recess. You can see that little rib, I guess, sticking up. That locks on the back of this part once this is slid in. So this is just going to slide in. And then this one comes up and it slides in. And as far as the installation of the drag chain, you're done. It's all the way forward, all the way back. So let me get the wiring out of the way here, because until we install the wiring in it, there's no reason to even have it in our way. And I tried to make this so that you could still unclip everything if you need to, because obviously this one you need to unclip it if you're hooking your rotary up. So of course this wire will end up going right in here, and then coming right out the bottom here is going to be for the limit switch wire, so it'll come out of the bottom and go ahead and clip in. Clip this one here in, and you can super glue these if you need to. I don't know how tight these are going to stay. This is the first time that, other than all the experimenting that I've been doing, this is the first time that I've really put this together. Tried to make it just as easy as possible. So there's that one. All the way from one end to the other. And you're pretty much done, other than feeding your wires through. Now notice that this drag chain is not, it's not affixed to the table, so if you need to lift it up, the whole thing comes up, with the laser burner. So now, and there's a couple different style drag chains out there. There's the type that these little pieces here unclip, and you can easily lay your wires in there, and then you snap them back down. The only reason I stayed away from those is the last thing that I would want is, as I'm doing a burn, especially if it was a long, nice burn, and you're 80-90% through with it, and one of these clips pops up and ends up getting hung up and causes an issue. Now, I don't know how secure those are. I went with this fully enclosed style to where that's impossible to happen. The only drawback to this style is you've just got to feed your wire through the drag chain itself, which I've done just to make sure that it was going to work for the size wire that's coming through here and the this size drag chain. And I didn't have any problem at all getting both this wire and the air tube in the drag chain. Now, like I said, the one thing that I'm going to have to do is lengthen these wires. I don't know how long I'm going to have to lengthen them. It looks like I'm probably going to go at least 4 to 6 inches. Probably doesn't need that much length, but hey, a little longer never hurt nothing, right? Because if you have a little extra, you can do something with that. If it ends up being too short, then that's not going to be good. Anyway, like I say, these will be in the description, the link to Thingiverse and all the parts that I use. I'm going to go ahead and show how I'm going to lengthen these. I've got some heat shrink. I've got some. Now you can solder yours if you need to. I'm going to crimp mine, and I'll put a link to the wire that I use. Now this is a 6-wire 24 gauge ribbon. The reason I went with the 6 wire is because you can easily pull 2 off for, say this switch wire here. That way you'll have the 4 here and the 2 here. I hope that made sense. It was just a better value than going with the 4. But you can go with 4 and then peel it apart to get your 2 and your 4 also. So it doesn't really matter one way or the other. So let me kind of get set up here. I'm going to crimp mine. I've got heat shrink. And we're going to get this ran through here. Okay, so I'm ready to start lengthening this harness. I've just kind of got it laying up here to where I had this drag chain laying out to where I could kind of see how much more length I needed. I'm going to add about 3 inches to this stepper motor connector and about 3 inches to the limit switch connector. So you don't want to stagger. I mean, you want to stagger your splices or your solder jobs. You don't want them all stacked on top of one another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one about right there. I'm going to cut this one about right there. This one there. And what this does also is it helps you keep track of what wire goes where. Got me a piece of ribbon here, so we're going to separate 4 of these out. Okay, so just remember that on this example, this short wire is going to go to this longer wire. And I know a lot of people don't like splices, but as an aircraft mechanic, there's a reason that they don't allow you to solder wires together on an airplane. But they do allow you to splice wires with splices, mechanical splices. Now the one thing you don't want to forget here is your heat shrink. So that one's done. That's all there is to that. Now, if you wanted to tape this, you could do that. I don't think I'm going to worry about it. Now the only thing I need to do is lengthen this, and then this side will be done, and then I'll go to the end and then feed it on through. So I'm not going to have you make you watch the entire crimping and splicing process. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then I'm going to come back and show you the finished product. Okay, got these wires done. Routed through there. Could have shortened up the limit switch wire just a little bit, but like I said, a little extra, you're going to be okay. So now, this wire, it just comes up from right here. I'm going to route it right there and finish routing it in here, and then figure out how much more length we need for it. Then we'll go from there. Okay, so about an hour later, we're done. We're getting ready to run this through. Got the tube and the harness in the drag chain. Got the stepper motors, limit switches all hooked up. This is the back of it. It's a pretty snug fit, but I thought about cutting off this snake skin, but I didn't do it. I left it all on. I have pulled everything through. I'm going to blow in this tube. So air does make it all the way through. I was kind of concerned about that because it was kind of a tough pull. But as you can see, it's all in there. I've got the laser disconnected just so the fan is not running, because anybody that's got these Atomstacks know how loud that fan is. I wish that fan was thermally controlled. So if the laser wasn't on, the fan would either be off or be on low speed. And as the laser warmed up, it ramped up to higher speed. But we're gonna run this through, kind of show you how it works. So I've just got a 400 by 400 line in here. So we're going to select that. I'm going to home it. Okay. And I'm going to hit play. Works really well. So anyway, and like I say, these plastic pieces I 3D printed. I'm going to have the files up on Thingiverse. They'll be in the description. The wire that I used will be in the description. And then you can determine what kind of, if you want to solder your connections or crimp them. If you do crimp them, go with a very small crimp. You know, what I use is an environmental crimp that are very, very small. There's normally a housing that goes on top of that, but I just used heat shrink because it makes it a little bit smaller. It's not going to be in the weather, so I'm not worried about it needing to be environmentally sealed. Anyway, let me run this through one more time, just so you can kind of see. Works like a champ. Anyway, I'm out. You guys take care. Alright guys, so it worked like champ. I just got finished burning this scrap piece of wood here. It took about 20 minutes. Had the air assist going. Did everything like it was supposed to. Drag chain modification worked great. So if you want a drag chain for your Atomstack, like I say, these 3D parts are available for free. All you got to do is download the files and either 3D print them yourself or have someone do it, and get you a couple pieces of drag chain. The only thing I would recommend is maybe a drop of super glue. This one here doesn't really snap in as tight as what I would have liked it. So maybe a drop of super glue, slide them on, they'll be set. Or hot glue, or whatever you want to do. As far as this bracket, it snaps on nice and solid. This bracket, nice tight friction fit. I do have the holes in it, so if you want to put screws in there, you can. And this top one, nice friction fit. Again, there's holes back here in the back. If you wanted to put screws in there, that's fine. All up to you. But before I sign off here, I want to show you one other thing that I'm getting ready to put out also. Again, it'll be for free. The one thing I've always hated are these Mickey Mouse extensions. They don't work worth a crap. They scuff up your finish here on your foot. I'm pretty sure these were probably for something else. And they just looked them up, figured we could probably make these work for this laser burner, and they don't work at all worth anything. So I'm making my own feet. Again, it's going to be a 3D printed part, and the way they're going to work, now this is just part of it. It's actually going to have a 1-inch diameter leg coming down that's going to raise this about 3 inches, and it's going to have another 1-inch screw-on adapter if you need to add another inch to it. But the way this works, let me see if I can figure out a way to show you this. This also, nice friction foot fit, does have the hole. I'm going to have this side threaded as far as the 3D print for a 1/4 20 cap screw. You'll need a 1/2 inch long 1/4 20 cap screw, and I did go 1/4 inch. Now these are only 210 thousandths. You're going to have to drill this out to 1/4 inch if you want to put the screw in it. I just thought that a number 12 screw would be too small as far as picking up these threads and snugging it up. But I really don't think you're going to need threads anyway, because as tight as this fits, I think it's going to support it no problem at all. Anyway, look forward to that within the next week or two. It's still a work in progress. This was the first test fit, and it seems to fit really good. So once I've finished the extension here and the base, and I'll probably make some kind of a design to where it's not just boring looking. But anyway, like I say, look forward to that. Those also will be free once I get them up on Thingiverse. You guys take care. We'll see you in the next one.